come out on top. So today I'm going to address a couple of questions that I've received over the last several weeks through email, in person, comments, things like that. So I'm going to answer these questions for you guys. But let me start off with saying I'm not going to name anybody's name for who asked these, but I will answer these questions. And yes, I'm going to call them questions. And you guys will understand why in just a little bit because I can't.
Is mental illness really an illness or is it an illness?
Question, yes, mental illness is really an illness. It is not an illness. It is actually something that goes on in your brain. There is a chemical imbalance there that causes the problem. That's the last time I'm going to answer that question.
So you claim to be on Xanax, but I heard that stuff makes you like really, really high. So if you're on Xanax, how do you function every day, like at a job and driving? Isn't that unsafe?
That's a fair question. I do function on Xanax just fine because I do have the chemical imbalance in my brain. So when I take the Xanax, it helps to balance that out and I function like a normal person. I don't take it every day. I take it for a certain period of the year. But I understand that question because a lot of people hear the stories that they get so high on Xanax. Well, the reason you're getting high on Xanax is because you don't need to take it.
So like in one of your videos, you said that you have trouble sleeping sometimes because of night terrors. It's just a nightmare. You wake up, you tell yourself it's fake, and you go back to sleep. Like, what's the big deal?
This one gets me a little bit. There's a very big difference between a nightmare and a night terror. A night terror is very vivid. It's like lucid dreaming, but with a nightmare. So everything in it feels, sounds, smells very real. So it's not as easy to wake up, go back, tell yourself you're fine and then go back to sleep. It's waking up and telling yourself and convincing yourself that everything that just happened didn't actually happen. And then you have to differentiate from some of those night terrors actually come out of memories. So is that a real memory or is that something that your brain kind of altered into what it was? So it's not that easy.
So you said in one of your videos that when you have a panic attack, you get violent, but I've seen people have panic attacks and they don't get violent at all. And when they panic attacks in like TV shows, the people are like rocking back and forth and crying uncontrollably, and that just doesn't seem like a real panic attack if you're getting violent. It seems like maybe you're just destroying things because you want to.
I've answered that question before. Panic attacks are not just sitting there rocking back and forth, holding yourself and screaming and crying. They can be many different things. I'm not answering that question again.
So like when did it become anxiety instead of just being shy to do something? I'm just curious because I remember I used to be shy, but I didn't say I had anxiety.
Right? The big difference between just being shy and having anxiety is when you have anxiety, it is very much a physical feeling as to, I can't do this. Your heart starts to race, you have palpitations, you start to sweat. Some people actually pass out from the anxiety, but I don't pass out from my anxiety. I also don't have social anxiety, so it's not the same thing as being shy. Just throwing it out there.
So when you hallucinate, that's like a daydream, right? And you're just saying you're hallucinating because I daydream all the time, but I don't say I'm hallucinating.
So a daydream is a daydream. It's something that goes on up here and you can see what's going on around you. A hallucination is actually seeing those things integrated into what is actually happening. So you will see, people or things that are not actually there. So that's a hallucination, not a daydream. It's the best way I'm going to explain it because I really don't feel like answering that question again because I've answered it a million and one times. But to my best knowledge, daydream, not a hallucination. You will know when you're hallucinating. Trust me.
So like, why do people who are depressed sleep all day? Because it makes me feel better to just get up and go outside. So maybe they should just do that instead of taking Xanax.
Okay. For those of you who think that when you're depressed and you're sleeping all day, the best medicine is just get up and go outside and go do something that you really enjoy because you control your emotions. You've been listening to Nicole Arbour a little too much. Nicole Arbour, lady in blue jumpsuit and bright blonde hair, who likes to tell everybody, you can get over your depression. I got over mine with 4 simple tricks. It doesn't work that way. This is not one of those infomercials. You can't just get up and go do things you enjoy and then your depression just magically goes away. That's not how it works. I really wish that's how it worked. However, and yes, I know Nicole Arbour tries to say, because that's all I hear from people is Nicole Arbour says, I don't give a fuck what Nicole Arbour says. She does not have depression, so she doesn't know. I can tell you what my depression is. I can't tell you what everybody else's is. But I can tell you with my depression, when I go through a bad episode of depression, it can last for weeks where I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do the things that I enjoy. And yes, I force myself to do the things I enjoy. I force myself to get out of bed. I force myself to go to work. And when I'm at work, I guarantee you not a single person knows that I'm going through a bad episode of my depression because I hide it really fucking well. Just gonna throw it out there for those of you that say that. Could be bad timing, could be in poor taste. I really don't care. It helps to get the point across. Robin Williams was a very depressed person, but not one person would know it. He did everything outgoing. He did a lot of things he enjoyed. He made others feel so much better. And he wasn't just sitting at his house, curled up in a ball, in bed, crying. So no, you can't just get up and go outside and get over your depression. It's something that kind of comes and goes, and you gotta work with it. But if you go to therapy and you get the right tools for it, no, I'm not just saying drug therapy. Drug therapy does help a lot of people. Not everybody. But if you get the right tools to function with it, you can function with your depression. You can learn how to live with your depression. You can even beat your depression. But it doesn't take 4 simple steps and then you're over it. It doesn't take just getting up and going outside and force yourself to do the things you like and go exercise because it makes you feel better. Guess what? I do all of that and it doesn't do shit for my depression. There's nothing I can do, but I do work with it. I function with it. I live with it. It's the best I can do. And as I go through therapy over the years, the easier it gets to live with my depression, the easier it gets to when I have less and less depressive episodes than what I used to have. So there's that. That's the best way I can answer it. Not, I don't know. 4 simple ways to get over your depression. Nope, I want to smack that lady. I'm telling you right now.
Like, I get that you have a mental illness and everything, but you take medication, so when are you gonna be, like, cured and over it?
I didn't realize mental illness was like a common cold. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
You can just, like, turn that off, right? Like, you don't always have to be crazy. It shuts off when you take your meds, right? So why don't you just take your meds and make it stop? I mean, you have a choice, right?
I'm sorry, do I have a switch on the back of my head somewhere that says on off that I'm not seeing? Because that's not how that works. Your medication helps you get through it. It helps you deal with it. It helps you function with it. It kind of helps balance out the hormones and the chemicals in your brains to make you function like a normal person. But there's no on and off switch to just doing that. Now, a lot of people, yes, if they don't take their meds, there is a very drastic difference in the way they are. But it's not an on-off switch for crazy. I'm not sure why people think that. And just a heads up, it can take years to find the right medications for one person. This is not a common cold. There is no one cure-all serves for the mental illness community. There's no, here, take this magic little blue pill and everything will go away. It doesn't really work like that. I wish it worked like that, but we live in the real world, and that's not how that shit works. So that's it for the first installment of questions, because some of them were good questions, some of them people should probably think about what's coming out of their mouth before they say it kind of questions. So yeah. Anyways, so that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoy and have a wonderful day, and I will hit you back up in like another day or two with questions round 2.